Okay, last time we were at question, okay, which note? This one, the second one, resolution, no, sorry, yeah, resolution of forces notes. Okay, resolution of forces notes. Last time we talked about example 1, which is the trolley, that one. Okay, you see the trolley diagram, that one. Now we are going to example 2. Example 2. Okay, now example 2, 我们要找 resultant force. So the following is showing a vector diagram. So vector diagram is the diagram showing all the forces only. So from what we learned last week, the resolution of forces, also what you learned in school, we will resolve everything. 总之，它不是 parallel to x axis 跟 y axis 的嘞，我们都要 resolve。所以我们有多少个 ？1, 2, 3。这一个是 parallel 跟 y axis 对吗？所以我们不需要 resolve 15n， 我们只需要 resolve 这几个。Okay, now in resolving, remember how to do the resolution. This one, the 20 Newton. We cannot change the direction, guys. So 20 Newton is going here. We will do like this. So starting, we draw the horizontal component and then to ending like this. Okay, what is the degree? This is the 35. Here, this is 20 Newton. 这个是我的 fx， 这个是我的 fy. So 这个是20 cos 35. This one is 20 sin 35. Okay, this one can, I put cos 35 equals to char, right? Adjacent over hypotenuse. So that would be the fx over 20. So what the fx 就是20 cos 35. This one can. If you are still not very solid with this one, the sine cos tangent, let me know in the chat. I will spend time to help you with that one after this. Okay. Don't keep silent. If you really cannot do, you have to let me know, okay? Now, fx is this one. That one is fy. This is fy. Okay, so resolve 去这两个，然后我们 repeat the same process on 10 Newton force. This starting to ending. That's my fx. Fine, F1. 10 and 40. This is 10 cos 45. This is 10 sin 45. Again, this is my fx. This is my fy. The 30 Newton is going down in this direction. Okay, so here down first, then only we come here like this. 30 Newton. Angle here is 60. Okay, and then this one is 30 cos 60. This is 30 sine 60. Okay, this is my fx and y. Okay, resolve 过后呢，我们再画的一个 diagram。然后我们把那种 resolve 了的 force 放进去我的 diagram。So focus on the 20 first. The 20 become these two, right? This one is the y. This one is the mind the direction. This one is going up. This one is going left. So that means going up is 20 sine 35. Okay, 20 sine 35. Going left is 20 cos 35. You can straight away put the numbers in here. Then we got the 10 going up is 10 sine 45. Now 你放进去哦，不要忘记放那个你没有 resolve 的 force 啊，这个15n 也是要放进去。This one. Okay, so 不是 parallel y-axis 就是 parallel x-axis， 这个是我们的 reference axis。OK， 我们的 reference axis。接下来呢，我就找 sum of the forces， 用你的 summation forces in the horizontal component sum of fx， 全部右边的我放它加 negative negative。Okay, so sum of fx is equals to 10 cos 45 minus minus Okay, Jasmine, we are at the note. The note continue from last week. 我们在那个 resolution of forces 的第二题 ，OK， 我们上个星期的 note 的第二题，我们继续在那边。OK，sum of fx， 这个我们算，我们拿到 minus 35.29 Newton。So you get a minus, that means this is left lah. We put the arrow here left. Sum of y positive, negative.减成1.46。OK， 所以这个是 bottom。 接下来全部这种 force 我已经 reduce 了，边区 horizontal vertical， so 我可以用最后 vector diagram solve it. I take the force, this one to the left 35.29 Newton. OK， 你用了那个，如果你用了 arrow， 你就不需要放 negative 了啊。所以我直接这样子画 showing here， 然后 going down right going down， 讲话接下去这里啊 head to tail， so the head of this join to the tail of that one down. Okay, it must be continue from here. Now 这个是35 Newton， 这个11 Newton， 你就弄这个短一点哦，越 magnitude 越大越长嘛。Okay, so this is 11.46 Newton. Resulted. OK， 然后我们找 direction angle。This angle. Okay. Tangent. This is my final answer. Okay, so 5 forces or 4 forces. So total up, you add, you get this, become 1. That is the resultant force. Okay, so if they want you to calculate acceleration, you can use F equals to ma. Now, come back here. Sometimes, if you don't want to do this, or maybe this one is taking a lot of time to do, the sine cos tangent, you can use one method. I will show you the method I use here. Let's say I want to resolve this 20. Let's say I want to resolve the 20 into the vertical. Okay, there's one thing we use, very easy one. Imagine if I want to resolve the 20 to become the vertical. So I'm moving this one in this direction. Right? Whenever I move away from the angle, then I will take the value sine the angle. Okay, that means if this I'm moving away from the 35, then I will take 20 sine 35. That means sine is for moving away from angle. And if I want to move towards, that means if I want to find the horizontal, imagine I bring this down here. Okay, I resolve this one down here to become horizontal. So this action, I'm moving towards the angle, right? Like this, I bring it down, I move towards the angle. So if you move towards the angle, then that means this one is 20 cos angle. Okay, so straight away you can see this is 20 cos 35, this is 20 sine 35. Very fast, very simple. Okay, sine moving away from angle. If you use cos, then it's moving towards the angle, like this. Okay, I will show you another example. Let's say I want to resolve the 30. 我要 resolve 这个30去 vertical。OK， vertical 在哪里 ？vertical 我要把它拉去这边对吗？我要把它拉下来这样子，所以我这样子拉它过来这个，我是 move towards 那个 angle 对吗 ？I'm moving towards the angle. So when I move towards the angle, I will cos the angle. So that means this vertical component is going to be 30 cos 60. 30 cos 60 because I move this one towards the 60, right? This I get the vertical component. 如果我要找它的 horizontal component， 同样的，我 imagine 我把这个拉去上面 ，OK 啊，我拉去上面，我就是 moving away from 60，对吗？所以我的这一个 component of force 就是30 sin 60 ，sin is moving away. So by looking at this, you do not need to draw all this. Okay, you do not need to draw this. By looking at this, moving away, moving towards, you can straight away write down all this. 30 sine this one sine this one. Okay, so you choose whichever that you like. You want to stick to this, okay, no problem. You want to use this one, also can. Okay, but have to make sure it is always in perpendicular. Let's say you have a vector like this. 如果你有这个 vector， 我给你的 angle 是这里20，这个是F。OK， 我要找它的 vertical component，then 我会拉这个上去 Fy， 所以 Fy 就是等于我拉它上去的时候，它是 moving towards angle 对吗？给那个 angle 拉去那一边，所以这个我们用 cos F cos 20。OK， 如果我拉下来，我是 moving away from 我的 angle， 所以这个 Fx 就是 F sin 20。OK， 我们可以这样子做。如果你讲 OK， 我这边是70， 我可以讲这一个 vertical component 是 F cos 20， 或者我也可以讲它是 F sin 70。因为我这样子拉去上面，它是 moving towards 20 and it is moving away from 70. This one I can also say that it is F sin 70. It is the same thing. When you calculate, you will get the same. Similarly, if I move down, this one I can also say F cos 20, right? F cos 70, okay? Because this I bring down is moving towards 70, so I will cos that angle. Okay, it's like a shortcut line. You can use this one. So whenever you resolve this, straight away you can see, okay, horizontal 10 cos 45, vertical 10 sin 45. Straight away you get this. Okay, example sum, like you try the example 3. OK，如果你讲 OK，我不要做 resolution，我要做 vector addition，就是讲我可以直接把它的 vector 加起来嘛。如果我不要 resolve 它 ，OK，you can also do it. I will show you here. Method 2. If we want to do with vector addition. If I want to straight away add the two forces, okay, so we will have vector addition is the one that we draw the triangle. Remember, you got the triangle and you got the parallelogram. Rule, triangle and parallelogram. Okay, so to do that, we will do this. Okay, so I will use the vector parallelogram. So I will put the two vectors together and then I draw a parallelogram. Okay, so how will you draw a parallelogram? You just take this one must be parallel to this one here. So I will draw another one like this. This one must be parallel to this one here. I will draw this. This one. Okay. Then from the start, join to the end. Like this. That is your resultant force, Fr. OK 啊，这个就是我们之前做的那个，如果你有两个 force 这样子，then 我们画 parallelogram，这个我们这样子 ，and then we draw another one parallel to this one. Then our resultant force is the diagonal. Our resultant force is from the start we draw. This become the diagonal Fr. You can also use this, no problem. You can either use resolution or vector addition here. So when we get this, I can solve it using what? Using the sine and cosine rule. Here, remember what we did earlier? We did cosine rule is a squared equals to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. 我要找的是什么 ？Fr， 这里是30，那么这里的 angle 是多少呢？30、20，这边总共是50，180减掉50，我拿到130这里。这里加起来是180，你有这样的 angle。These two are parallel. AB A plus B equals to 180. These two are parallel because we draw parallelogram. So this is 130. Okay, so you can find Fr by taking B squared plus C squared. Right? What is this? 4,500. This one, 5,000 is this one. I bring it here. This is the 5,000. So I have 5,450 and then 130. If I create this one, maybe this one is a bit confusing, but if I erase this, I don't look at here, then you will see this is a triangle. Get something like. 5,000, 4,500. And this is 130. You get something like this. Like this. Okay, this is using parallelogram rule. If I want to find FR, FR equals to square root of B squared. 你要找的永远是 A， 永远是 A。So FR 是我要找的 A。BC 不管它哪一个是 BC 都是一样的东西，你这个 B 或者这个 B 都可以。So 因为你都是把它加起来，然后你乘都是一样嘛，你这个就算这个调转都是这个乘这个嘛。OK，So 4500 square 加5000 square 减2，4500 5000 cos 大 A 是这个的对面130。You still get the same value as we get here, 8613. 8613 Newton. You can calculate this, you get the same. Pick one, okay? If this is not familiar, then you stick to this one. If you like this one, then you can stick to this one, whichever you like. Okay, here I'm just showing you it is possible for every method that you can use. Okay, if you've done example 3, you can do example 4. Example 4, and I will write the solution on the board. You check your answers. resolution 要用 resolution 来做 method 1。Okay, everybody try out, huh? Example 4, everybody try.如果大家平衡是 side to side 平衡，它这里有在走着，它只是 side to side 平衡，所以你应该是要这个 vertical 是 balance 把这个 vertical。A and B are pulling the boat through water as shown. The force and pull so that the boat moves forward. How we move forward is what kind of horizontal force 不可以是平衡，因为它可以 move forward。可是它 without moving side， 意思说，如果你做这个200 sin 34，就是 vertical 对吗？是等于这个 force sin。Okay, for question 4, huh? Now. Okay, if you're not sure about question 4, look here. Two men A and B are pulling a boat through water as shown. With what force should B pull so that the boat move forward without moving sideways? Okay, the key word is move forward without moving sideways. Here, move forward. No sideways. Okay, move forward 意思说什么？你有 resultant force 在你的 horizontal component 有 resultant force 啊，然后 no sideways 意思说你的 vertical component 没有 resultant force 啊 no resultant force 在你的 vertical 就是讲你的那个船 like this 啊。This is this thing. Okay, vertical we take y, horizontal x. Okay, so the boat is not moving sideways. It's not moving in the y-axis. It is only moving in the x-axis. So 也就是说你的 no resultant vertical 在你的 resultant force。OK， 我们先 resolve 那个 force 先。Now 有多少个 force 这边？两个200N， 还有另外一个是没有给的。OK， 我先 resolve 我的200N， 200 Newton resolve into horizontal and then vertical. Okay, what is this? 34. 200 cos 34. This one is 200 sin 34.另外一个呢？另外一个是没有给啊，我用 unknown f left up 45. This is f cos 45. This is f sin 45. Okay, now resolve 了过后呢，我们放我们的 force diagram。中间 y axis x axis。这个我们拿 this one and this one. Okay, so that means we have to the left 200 cos 34, and then downward 200 sin 34. The other one, put it in. I will take this and this. Up f sine 45. This one is also going to the left. So left f cos 45. OK， 四个你 resolve 了的，你拿到四个 force 啊，把四个 force 都放进去。放了进去呢 ，OK， 你现在看到你的 horizontal 跟 vertical component。Now， 他讲 no sideway， 意思说你的 vertical forces y 的那个上跟下是一定是 balance 的，因为他讲 no sideway movement， 意思说你的 y axis 的 force 是 resultant 是0。Right? The y-axis force is resultant is 0， 所以我就写 sum of force in the y-axis， 就是我们讲着这个两个 f sin 45，还有你的200 sin 34，这个两个是 vertical component， 它们的总共是等于0 ，because back to this one， no sideway movement。Okay, so this is very important expression. Then we will put here sum of forces in the y is 0. So 我把这个两个加起来，那你加的时候小心，你也是要放 sin 啊，上面加下是减，所以当我放 sum of y， 我就放加 f sin 45。Okay, so f sin 45。加减200 sin 34 200 sin 34 this equals to 0. Okay, so I move this one over there. Again. OK， 你也是可以直接写这个等于这个啦，就是这边咯，这个等于这个，然后找 f So F equals to 200 sine 4 3 sine 60. OK， 所以我现在找到 F 了。Now， 还要我找什么来给 question 讲 What is the resultant forward force? Resultant forward force. Forward force 它就是讲这 horizontal component. OK, forward force is the horizontal component. 所以你要找 horizontal 的 resultant. 所以我就找 sum of F in the horizontal Fx. Okay, sum of forces in the x component, horizontal component. 那我可以写这个等于0吗？可以这样子写吗？不能够啊。为什么呢？因为这个它有讲它没有 resultant force 吗？所以我可以写0，加起来变0。可是这个我不能够这样子写，因为我知道它有 horizontal 的 resultant force， 所以这个我不可以写等于0 ，like this. Okay, so I can write this because I know this is vertically balanced. That means no resultant force in the vertical, no resultant force in the sideway. I can write this. So this one I have to calculate sum of Fx in the horizontal direction. 我只有2个吧吗？这一个还有这一个，2个都是一样方向，所以我直接把它加起来。OK， 200 cos 34加这个 F unknown， 你从这边找到了吗？158.16 cos 45。Okay, if I calculate this, I get 277.65. Direction 在哪里？我这个是用加对吗？我这个是用加，这个用加。意思说我拿向左是加，向左是加，这个是加，这个是加。我算出来也是拿到加，意思说我的 force 是向左边 ，plus plus plus。So sum of Fx, is it equal to 0? It is not 0. It is 277.65. But what about the sum of Fy? It is 0. So looking at these two, what do you understand about the boat? How will this move? It will move here with the resultant force of 277.65. Will it move up, down? There's no motion up, down. So this is my resultant force. Okay, so example 1, 2, 3, 4. There are a total of 4 examples for the resolution of forces. Okay, so make sure you down. Huh? These are the typical questions that might be asked in the exam. Any other questions? They are based on the same concept. Okay, now I will continue to the next part. Not many. The equilibrium of forces. Okay, this 1 page. 2 page, 1 paper. I will send a note to you, to the online students. Okay, let me send this. Econ remote？
我找你这一是插图。
插头啊？哎，
哦，
你要插吗？我给你插咯。
一个都是。
Okay, you got the note already. You can print out if you want. Easier for you. You just write everything down in the worksheet. If you don't want, then you just write it in the exercise book. Okay 吗？
可以啊。
你不怕累啊？这样子放上来了，比较累啊。Okay, equilibrium of forces. Now, this is a quick one, a short one. Let's say, I hang an object that is having a certain charge, positive. What is the forces acting on this object? We have learned the free body diagram, right? What is your free body diagram? F 等于我们 label 有 MA、MG、FTR 对吗？有 MA 吗？这里没有 MA，没有 acceleration。MG Yes, we got mg. Label like this. Okay. Friction, male friction. Tension, yes. Tension going out of the object. Okay, going out of the object. And then reaction, there's no reaction. Okay, done. Now, 这里 T 是等于 mg， 所以它才会 stay balance。如果突然间我拿一个 positive plate， this is positive charge plate， 我拿一个 positive charge plate 靠近这个 charge object， 这个会发生什么事 ？Positive 跟 positive 会 repel， okay？ So when they repel, the force acting from here, this will create a force F. I will write this F, electric force. Okay, 因为 repulsion 嘛 positive and positive repel, so it will create a force here. So what happens is that this thing will start to move like this. It will start to swing to the side. Now, if I redraw the diagram, then you get something like this. This one swing to the side, positive, and then it stays stationary here. Here, notice that when this one is moving, it moves to a certain angle theta. 它去那边 for a certain angle theta, and then it stays here. This is the original position. Okay, it stays here. That means now it is at rest, balance position. Okay, this is at rest. That means this is not moving. How is it possible not moving? If we look at the forces, what is the forces acting here? 我们有 mg, 我们有 tension, 还有我们有一个 electric force. Here, I will write the force Fe. This is like this. Okay? 总共的 force acting on 这个有3个，然后这3个 force balance, 所以这个才不会动。These two, you can actually add up Fe and mg. If you add up these two, what do you get? Like you do the Pythagoras theorem, right? Fe here, and then you add with the mg. What do you get? You get this resultant, right? This Fr resultant. So that means that these two, you can actually get the resultant like this. So due to this resultant force, the charge tries to go here. Because you have a resultant force, the charge tries to go here, but the string does not allow the charge to go here because the string will not break. Okay, so the string does not allow the charge to go here, so it applies a tension here. This tension balanced with the resultant force here, so everything is balanced. This charge cannot go down because it is prevented by the string. So what happened to the charge? The charge stays at rest, like this. Now, this situation, we call it as equilibrium system, okay? Equilibrium system. We say that the system is in equilibrium. That means everything is stationary regardless of how many force you have. 你总共有3个 force， 可是如果你把3个 force 加起来，它的 result 是0的，它是 at rest 的。这个我们叫 equilibrium system. Okay, so this is one example of equilibrium system. If the string suddenly break, 如果那个 string 突然间断 then 你的 tension 就没有了。你的 tension 一没有，你这个 resultant, is this in equilibrium? This is not in equilibrium already. So this thing will move like this. It will move down like this. Okay, but without the tension, it will move like this. With the tension, it will stay at rest. Okay, now we look at equilibrium system. Equilibrium system is defined as two things. First is that the sum of the force in the vertical must be equal to 0. 意思说，如果你 resolve 这种，你 resolve 完那个 force 它的总共的 vertical 一定是要0 for equilibrium system 啊。然后同样的，如果你 resolve 完那个 force， 你的 horizontal 的 forces 总共 sum of horizontal forces 也是等于0。Okay, so sorry, this one is Fy. Sum of vertical component, sum of horizontal component. This one is the condition of equilibrium system. This is for stationary. Okay, stationary. So write this down in point number 1. Point number 1, 它讲 when the forces acting on an object are in equilibrium. Okay, in equilibrium, the resultant forces acting on the object is equal to 0. Okay. Number 1, when the forces acting on an object are in equilibrium, the resultant forces acting on the object is equal to 0. That means it is at rest, like this one. And then point number 2, if the forces are resolved into horizontal and vertical component. Okay, if the forces are resolved into horizontal and vertical components, then number 1, the sum of all horizontal component is equal to 0. 也就是这个咯 Fx 等于0。Number 2, the sum of all vertical component of the forces is equal to 0. So sum of y 等于0。Okay, so point number 2, very, very important. Okay, you will see later, we will use this to solve all problems. Okay, point 1 and point 2. Now, let's look at one example. How do we solve equilibrium system problems? Example 1. Figure shows a traffic light weighing 200 Newton being held by 2 identical cables at angle of 60. Okay, find the tension of the string. Now, 首先问你自己，那个 system 是 equilibrium 吗？ Ask yourself, first step. Look at example 1. Ask yourself, is the system in equilibrium? Is it at rest? Yes, it is at rest, right? It's not moving. Nothing is moving. It stays like this. That means that system is in equilibrium. Okay, so you know that it is in equilibrium. Then you know this. Right. So how do we get the tension? You see the force diagram. Now, we will first resolve the forces. Now you will use resolution. Okay, so we got 200 Newton W. We got T here and T here. This is 60. This is 60. This is 60. Okay, 这个 T 是一样的吗？它放一样啊 ，T 是一样。T okay, now 先 resolve 它。我用我的 okay, we use this one. 这个 T 我拉去 vertical, so I'm moving away from the 60. That means this one is T sine 60. Because I'm moving away from 60, right? Remember, I take the away is sine and sine, use the sine, moving towards is we use cos. Okay, so imagine 我把这个拉去 vertical, 我 move away from 60. 好，现在我把这个拉去 horizontal, 我拉去 horizontal, 我 move towards 60. I use the cos. So here I use T cos 60, like this. Same as this one, T sine 60 and T cos 60. Okay, so after 你 resolve 了，剩下什么？这一个两个 vertical， 还有不要忘记你的 W 啊，你的 W 也是 vertical， 所以你有3个 vertical force， 1、2、3，两个 horizontal force。OK， 它的 system 是 equilibrium 对吗 ？System 是 equilibrium， 所以我们可以用这个两个咯。我用这个 OK，sum of fy 等于0，把它写下来 ，sum of fy 等于0。也就是讲，我把这个加起来，这个加起来，这个我会拿到0。So I do like plus negative t sine 60 plus t sine 60 minus 200 equals 0. So I get 2t sine 60 equals to 200. T equals to 200 over 2 sine 60. 115.47. Check the horizontal. I can also do horizontal fx, the yielding equilibrium. So to the left, to the right, positive, negative. So this is the same. That means if you add t cos 60 plus minus t cos 60 is equal to 0. Yes, this is correct. This is equal to 0. So this and this one. Using these two, we can find the tension. Okay, so first step is knowing that the system is in equilibrium. Okay， 如果 system 不是 equilibrium， 这样我们就不可以，我们不可以做这个啊，就很像刚刚我们那个问题，那个船。If you look at the question we did just now, the example 4 from the previous note, the boat, is that equilibrium? This is not equilibrium because the boat is moving. Okay, now that is example 1. Okay, this one is example 1. Okay, you do example 4 first, and then we come back to 2. Okay, 4 first, the last one. Okay, you try example 4. Very similar to example 1. Okay. Is the system equilibrium? Number 4, yes. The question will not tell you whether it's equilibrium or not. 问题有时它不会跟你讲的，它是不是 equilibrium. So you have to identify it yourself. Okay, and then you do example 2. Okay, we look at the last example, example 2. For example 2, a boy weighing 450 sits on a surface inclined at an angle 40 with horizontal floor. Okay, so we draw this one, angle 40. We got 3 forces, weight. Okay, that's the boy. This. We got weight, reaction. Okay, weight vertical down, reaction 是 perpendicular to 你的这个 slope，就是说你的 reaction force 一定是要90 degree to 你的 slope。然后我们还有 friction F。These 3 force makes it balance. Okay. Now, this angle here, I can label here. This is 40. OK， 这里的 angle 是跟这里的 angle 一样，为什么呢 ？OK， 看，如果我的 slope 是这样啊，这里的 angle θ。如果我画一条线，这个线我们讲，这个是 surface 1， 然后这个是 normal 1， 意思说这个线是90 degree to 你的 surface 1， 我叫它 normal 1， 然后我画另外一个 normal， 这个蓝色呢是 normal to surface 2， 这个我的 surface number 2， 然后我的 normal number 2。OK， 这个是90度。Again， surface 1还有它的 normal， 还有 surface 2跟它的 normal。如果那个 angle between 我的两个 surface 是 θ， 这样那个 angle between 它们的 normal 也就是一样。OK，Again， 如果 angle between line 1还有 line 2是 θ。这样 angle between 它们的 normal 也就是一样 angle， 所以 that's why here is 40, this is 40. Okay, so if I put like this, this is the W, this is the W, right? This is the angle with the reaction line. This is the reaction line, R. So angle here and here is 40, same as here. 如果这里是30，这里也是30。So always take the same angle with the inclined angle here, right? Now be careful, not here, it's here with the 你先画那个 reaction 一定要90度跟你的 slope, okay? 然后你 extend 那个 line backward, that angle is the 40. How do you draw the 90 degree reaction? If you're given a slope, like this, and then you are asked to draw the reaction, okay, you use a ruler, use the edge of the ruler. Here, let's say this is your ruler, you use the corner here is 90 degree, right? So you just line up with the short edge, and then you draw your reaction like this. So you get a 90 degree. Okay, so that's how you draw the reaction. Now, equilibrium system, is it equilibrium? Yes. Is the boy sliding down? He is not sliding down, right? It didn't say that it is sliding down, it's just sitting there. So it is an equilibrium system. Now, from equilibrium system, we know that sum of fx 0, sum of fy 等于 0。那我要讲 resolve 这一个呢？你看全部 force 都是打斜的，平时我的 force 都是打直的吗？这个 F is sloping, reaction is sloping， 然后 weight 这样子。OK， 很简单，我们换我们的 reference axis。平时我们的 xy axis 我们是拿 vertical horizontal 对吗？我们拿这样子 vertical horizontal。所以 for 这个呢，我会 modify 一下，我会拿这个是我的 x axis， 然后我拿这个是我的 y axis， 这样子。OK， 我换我的什么？我的 reference axis。刚刚一来，记得老师讲吗？你的 reference axis 就是你的那个 xy axis。平时我们是拿这样子的嘛？现在在这个情况，我换我的 reference axis， 所以它的 x axis 是 parallel to 那个 slope， 然后 y axis 是 perpendicular to 那个 slope。OK， now here yes form 有问题吗？没问题 ，Edmund 对吗 ？OK， now that means that any force parallel to my x-axis is the horizontal component. Any force parallel to the y-axis is my vertical component. So I will write here sum of fx here. If I draw the diagram like this, so that you can see clearer. This is y, this is x. 我的 f 需要 resolve 这个 f 吗？这个 f 不需要 resolve， 因为它已经是 horizontal component 了嘛。我的 reaction 呢，也是不需要 resolve 嘛，因为也是 vertical component 的。只有我的 w 我是要 resolve 的 ，like this。OK， so 你的 w resolve 它，你拿到 this is w， bring it here， right？ You move this one to this one, so you are moving towards the angle. Moving towards angle, W cos 40. Moving away from angle, I move it over here. This, I get W sine 40. Okay, so I have resolved this one. This one I will erase, no more. Like this. 全部已经是 horizontal, vertical component. 我的 reference axis has changed like this, right? Okay, now sum of fx equals to 0. 哪一个你的 x？ 这个两个咯。So 我把这个加这个减 w sin 40减 f 等于0。W 是多少？已经是有了的嘛，对吗 ？W 是450。axis, okay, positive, negative. Okay, so that's the answer. Friction and reaction.如果 system 是 equilibrium 的话哦，这样你加起来的那种 force 啊 ，let's say 我 W、F 跟 R，如果我做 vector addition，比如说我把 W 加 R，OK，R 是去这边， so R 再加 F 上去，再加 F。如果我做 vector addition， 它一定是 closed loop 来的 F。Okay, you can draw this inside. When you do vector addition, it should be a closed triangle. Closed triangle. That means this is showing that it is equilibrium. OK， 因为平时如果它不是 equilibrium 哦，你加这个 force， 你加这个 force， 它有 resultant 吗？因为我们从 starting 去 ending，we got resultant。可是这个我从这里 start， 我走这里，走这里回来，我回到来原点，我回到来原点，我从这边 start， 我的 ending 也是在这边，我有 resultant force 吗？这里我没有 resultant force。So closed triangle 也就是讲是 equilibrium。OK，arrow 很重要啊，这个一定是要顺着走，走下这样子这样子。如果你突然间这样子 ，this is not correct already. So it has to be like this, like this. Okay, so that is a closed triangle. Okay, take a rest.